part 1 of a 6-part series on intuition as an operating system, what we call
the second paradigm. But in order to make sense of any of this, we have to first start with
what everyone else is doing.
You're on your deathbed, looking back at your life, thinking back on your biggest regrets.
Blah, blah, blah. We've heard the same story a dozen times.
We're stuck on a never-ending treadmill of work, chasing money that we already know won't make us any happier. We're trying the new diet, the new emotional optimization hack, the new business strategy to 10x our side gig and quit our day job. But we all know where this story ends. Every experience we've ever had of chasing a material or emotional desire always led to this odd, hollow disappointment. Which is why we go to conferences or watch inspirational YouTube videos telling us to imagine the day we die to motivate us to try something new.
But why don't we actually do anything different? Not just buy a new treadmill and call it a day. No, something really different. Really, what's stopping us?
If you look close enough, the answer's annoyingly simple. We don't think we can.
So now what?
Well, now we go deeper. We live in a world of logic, and though it's helped us to create the very world we live in, that logic is limited. Everything we've ever experienced is carefully cataloged in this massive brain of ours, and we make rational, practical decisions based on our lifetime of experience.
Our life is logical.
But our logic is limited, because that experience is limited. We've never seen ourselves do or be anything outside of this path that's been laid out for us. We grow up, go to school, get a job, work for money, strive for happiness, and when we imagine doing anything else at all we see is
uncertainty.
Our brain sees that different, uncertain future, runs it against our lifetime of experience, and comes up short. I don't have that on file, and since I don't have that on file, let's just assume it's
certain doom.
In logicOS, anything outside of our experience is uncertainty, and uncertainty is certain doom. We don't do anything different with our lives because our logic can only see those big, deathbed-changing leaps as certain doom. Here's the hard part, and the weird part. Even our future is uncertain. We all have a fog of uncertainty somewhere out in the distance. It may be a few days when that next bill comes due, or it might be a few years into the future when that rift in a marriage might just finally tear it apart. We're not just scared of those big leaps.
We're scared of tomorrow.
What we're already doing here, logicOS, is looking for certainty to push off that lingering feeling of certain doom. It's not like we've ever actually been there before, to this certain doom. We've always found a way to get by. It might not have been what we imagined or wanted, but we always found a way. Still, even when we do find a way forward, that certain doom just moves a few months, weeks, or days out into the future. And then we get back to figuring out how to escape its grips once again. That treadmill is more than just something we do here. It's a big game we play with ourselves, with logicOS, to learn more, be more, do more, have more, to move that feeling of certain doom just a bit further down the line. For some of us, though, that game ends when that one fateful day hits us across the head. My mom passed away in 2011, and I was never the same.
My mom had a stroke in 2011, and it changed everything.
Calamity strikes, and that deathbed isn't just some metaphor we heard someone share on some stage.
Suddenly, it's real.
We're thrown off the treadmill, face flat on the ground, and we realize that there's no escaping uncertainty. After what's so often months with detached, glared-over eyes, we're left with that big midlife crisis feeling.
There has to be something more to life than this.
This is the space where logic becomes useless. When calamity strikes, our logic has no experience to reference. logicOS has no answers for us.
Suddenly, it's just what we do here isn't a good enough reason to keep going. If life really can't be controlled, what am I even doing? Isn't there something more to this life than ensuring my safety and escaping certain doom?
To find the answer, We have to be willing to go head first into the big mysteries of life. And we have to realize that asking these big questions doesn't make you crazy. It just makes you
brave.
Now, before you think you've heard this all before, we're not here to talk about some big secret that has to be discovered and unlocked with decades of spiritual training. Everything we're about to share already exists in your experience today, no matter who you are or what you've been doing in this life. You won't find what we're about to share under #spirituality on social media. Often, what we find there is just more things to do to feel better, to be a good person, and to get ahead.
No, this is something different. There's nothing more that you have to do, to learn, to strive for, or to figure out. This is profoundly simple. It's already here, right within your experience. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's anything short of a miracle.
Where this journey goes is into a new human operating system that's far more precise, far more fulfilling, and far more profound than logic alone. And again, it's all right here, already within your experience. This is intuitionOS.
This is the second paradigm.